Before I get into my saga of River City Saga 3 Kingdoms, I want to stress the importance of getting things physically. A lot of games are now going digital only. A lot of new games coming out have announced they're going digital only, and they say this is because the costs are too expensive and a lot of people don't like collecting physical media anymore. It's more convenient to have everything on the cloud. And I have been a big proponent against this from the beginning of time. One, I'm a huge collector of said collector's editions. I like to have the physical stuff I can look at. I have a room dedicated to it where I can look at it and enjoy it. But two, and more importantly, I think a lot of people are starting to see the delisting of a lot of stuff on platforming. Disney is removing movies weeks after they come out, and the HBO Max merger has deleted a large portion of the library. And if you are somebody who expects to have your digital downloads available in 10 or 15 years, you may be sorely disappointed when you find out that a lot of your favorite stores are delisting. And this is a problem. Yes, you do download something on the physical hardware. Sometimes it requires an authorization online. Obviously, if that service goes away, that may render that software unusable. And two, and more importantly, it's nice to have it in your hand because if you're like me, you may want to go back and play some of your old favorite games once or twice. I'm looking at you, Halo. I play you every single year. That game is old as dirt, almost as old as me. And I still play it every year on my physical disc, and I'm happy with that. I don't want to wait or lose out on the opportunity to have to try to download it from some store. Maybe there's an issue downloading it or authenticating it. This way you have everything you need. So why do I say all this? Is the title of the video is River City Saga. What do you like, Jim? What are you smoking, man? Well, I want to show you guys very briefly. I did talk about this back in May 28th, 2022, the day they announced that River City Saga 3 Kingdoms would be coming out for the PlayStation and for the Nintendo Switch, and also digitally on Steam. And I knew I had to have this game because I am a huge River City fan. Here you can see, if you go to buy the game right now from the Nintendo store, you can only do a direct download. If you look at Amazon or any other big box store, you will find that River City Saga 3 Kingdoms is only available via download. And I just gave you a whole lecture on why I don't like that. So I actually decided to pay a little bit more and have my copy of the game imported. Hence the saga that began. So I went through Play Asia. They give you these cute little stickers because I did finally get my game. They do give you these cute little stickers here that you could, show off to the world. Here's one of this little character. And on the back, it says, I guess her name is Aka, a.k.a. Aka Facts number 8. Beans are toxic when improperly handled. So clearly, this is some weird, Asian thing that I don't understand. I didn't care about that. What I cared about was this bad boy right here. This is a physical copy of the game, which is super, 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 super hard to find. I bought this about a month or two after River City Saga was available. People had already reviewed it. It was available very easily digitally. People were doing reviews from playing it on the Nintendo Switch or on their PlayStation or on Steam, and the game came and left without super big fanfare. River City games don't necessarily sell very well anyway. They're more of kind of a cult franchise, I would say, kind of at this point. But I love it. I love River City. It's so near and dear to my heart. So I knew I had to have this game. So I contacted Play Asia through their website. I bought everything. It's a ton of money to get this thing shipped, by the way. I didn't pay for rush shipping. I wasn't in any hurry to get it. Maybe that was my mistake. Well, it kind of sort of got lost in the mail for a hot minute. Then it reappeared. Then it got lost. And then finally, when it started to work its way to me, boy, oh boy, did I have to wait. I don't know the service that they use to ship everything. I know it's by boat. I have to assume it's by boat. So it physically takes time for the boat to sail across the Pacific Ocean, to land somewhere in California, to go through imports, and then begin the long trek against the continental United States. But they don't use UPS or FedEx or anything. It's like some random delivery service that you've never heard of. So even when I saw it coming, it still took almost 2.5 weeks to make it from California to Florida, where I reside. So, but I got it. That's the Saga. I got it. I'm very happy. This is definitely a celebratory video. So what I like about this, it is the Chinese version. Now, they do say that they work with, and I have tried it, so it does actually work. I wasn't able to redeem the Nintendo Switch coins when you put the disc in, and usually you can redeem it for like the platinum coins on the reward store. I don't care. I wasn't able to do that. I don't care. But everything on the box is in English, which is great. And the cool thing is, if I get a little bit closer, you can see that they've highlighted some of the characters. Now, I knew that going into this game on River City that they would take the major characters from the franchise and convert them into Three Kingdoms characters. So inside the case, and let me go ahead and actually pull this out. It's probably a little bit easier to hold it this way. Inside the case, they have included this very handy-dandy character relationship chart. And you could see not only how different characters actually are related to each other from the romance of the Three Kingdoms. And if you're familiar with the Saga, I mean, not that you would be expected to know this. This is like deep history lesson stuff. But like Dong Zhuo adopted Lu Bu. Like that's a very known fact. And then Lu Bu, you remember Lu Bu from Dynasty Warriors, right? Lu Bu, and he comes in, and he's got the long spike and the long plume on the horse, and he destroys everybody. So Lu Bu is adopted by Dong Zhuo, but he has a crush on Dong Zhuo's wife, and then he is betrayed, or he betrays Dong Zhuo and ultimately kills him. I know, you all know this, I'm preaching to the choir, but what I love about this character relation chart, and I want to just zoom in specifically on Lu Bu, there you could see that Mizu, who's a very famous character from the River City franchise, she'll be playing Lu Bu in this game, which is really, really cool. So they give you not only the relationship chart of how the characters actually map out in the romance of the Three Kingdoms, like who was who and who was, what factions did everybody belong to. They're all color-coded because, there were the Three Kingdoms, right? So you have the different leaders and the relationships to them. But they also, below the characters, in parentheses, they put down the name of the character that the River City Ransom Saga character would be playing. So as I pointed out, like Mizu is playing Lu Bu. Most of you are probably very familiar with Kunio. Kunio is kind of like the main guy of the River City franchise. And there you can see that he is going to be Guan Yu in this retelling. And there you can see Liu Bei, they're sworn brothers. Liu Bei is played by Gouda. It's really, really cool. I love this. And it's just little things like this. I'm sure I lost 90% of you when I pulled this out, and that's fine. If you made it to the end, congratulations. But I will say that you would miss out on this if you did not have a physical copy of this game. You would miss out on this piece of the game, which I think is really important, and I think it's a cool little kind of keepsake to go along with it. The fact that it's on the back of the jewel case is nice because it'll be protected forever. But it's also just a neat thing that you miss out on from the digital perspective. And that's one of the frustrating things about going into digital only is you miss out on this kind of stuff. And in 5 or 10 years, will River City suddenly rise to fame? Probably not. It hasn't before. I don't see why it would now. I know River City Girls is a popular game, and that's great. But as River City ebbs and flows in popularity, probably, the latter, right? It's okay because I have this forever. And I don't have to worry about the store delisting it. And I don't have to worry about losing access to the Nintendo eShop if I don't pay for premium, or if the Switch goes away and they go to some other new piece of hardware. I have this keepsake locked in time. So despite all the money I spent and the waiting that I did to finally get a copy of a game that is pretty much a year old at this point, it's new to me. I am very, very excited to finally dig into this experience. But I thought this video would be fun to actually look at this because I've seen absolutely nobody talking about the box art of this. I saw a lot of reviews about the gameplay, a lot of blog posts, a lot of Let's Plays on YouTube, the soundtrack, all that kind of fun stuff. I haven't seen anybody do what I just did and open up the jewel case and show you this figure and talk to you guys about the importance of that. And that's why this video exists. And that's why I'm putting it out. And, you know, if it gets 3 or 4 views, oh well. But I feel like it's my duty as a gamer, as somebody who has seen a lot of their favorite games kind of fade away over time. And it's very difficult to get into retro gaming because it's so expensive. And the technology of going out and buying a piece of hardware that's old, that technology wasn't really necessarily designed for that. So the rarity has gone up, the price has gone up. But, you know, paying some extra money and waiting some extra time to get a copy of a game that I know I'm going to enjoy for many, many years, because yes, I still do play the original River City Ransom, was totally worth it for me. So that wraps up my tirade. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.